Are Longbeards any good in patch 5.0? It's time to address this a bit because I'm going to go through all the Grudge Settler units. I've been reluctant to take a deep dive into dwarf melee troops, thinking they might change more than missile ones in Thrones of Decay, and that's okay. Everybody knew what to expect for so long, it was practically ancient. It's time for a fresh look. Recruited for 700 gold and 175 upkeep, on Ultra the Longbeards number 100 with 8,600 health between them. Armored's 100 with silver grade shields blocking 55% of missiles from a frontal arc. This is a massive difference with hammerers. Spell resistance is of course 35%. Leadership is 80, speed is 26, charge speed 36. Melee attack begins at 30, which comes off as very low for a unit of this caliber, with attack interval 4.3, a standard axe level, no splash damage. Melee defense starts at 48, considerably more respectable. Weapon strength comes at 32, split between 25 base and 7 armor piercing, better than the average bear and tilted toward taking out normal, lower armored troops. Charge bonus is 10, and the mass is 200 per stocky dwarf. Longbeards have immunity to psychology, have encouraged to give a small morale bonus to nearby troops even if heroes are absent, and have charge defense versus large, so they will not be easy to dislodge when braced. Let us proceed to the Great Weapons variant. Cost rises to 750 to recruit and 188 upkeep, of course losing the shields, and reducing melee defense to 38. Melee attack and attack interval didn't change, much like other stats as you can see here. Weapon strength rises to 34, split between base 9 and armor piercing 25, much stronger against armored opponents. Charge bonus rises to 18. Note that the Great Weapons version does not lose the charge defense versus large, so they can function like a heavily armored version of Empire Halberdiers against cavalry charges, though they don't get a bonus versus large. Halberdiers have lower starting melee attack though. In the Redline skills, Axe Lord governs Longbeards and more basic infantry, granting melee attack plus 6 and melee defense plus 6 at 3 pips. I have mentioned how simple and strong this is for basic Empire troops, and so it is here. Those stats look much better with 36 melee attack and 54 melee defense at rank 0. Blessed by Grungi gives rank 7 Old Grumblers armor plus 12, as if they didn't have enough, melee defense plus 5, as if they didn't have enough, and spell resistance 15%. So 50 spell resistance total. That's pretty sturdy. In the tech tree, Call to Clan grants plus 4 melee defense regardless of rank, Iron Readiness adds plus 4 melee attack and plus 10 armor, and Interlocking Shields brings the Shieldwall formation into play for the shielded version, doubling mass, granting plus 20 missile block, plus 10 missile resistance, and eliminates the possibility of running, so it is a slow, stocky advance. There's a little more. Sacred Duty grants plus 4 melee attack to all Great Weapons variants, including the Longbeard one. Veteran's Pride grants armor piercing plus 10% for the Great Weapons variant, and plus 10 flat charge bonus. Have I mentioned how infantry with charge bonus of like 30 or so are amazingly strong? Or more like it was in the comments, and how expert charge defense is so valuable against such a thing. Iron Veterans grants charge reflection on the Longbeards, so while it is a pity they don't have expert charge defense, trolls are going to get a mouthful of steel, so it is good. Now, how do you use the Longbeards? There's the obvious version and the not so obvious version. The former involves using them to center a hard battle line with Corlers or other arcing missile troops behind it. Old, traditional values at work, or closing off flanks to enemies in more expensive armies rather than relying on young dwarf warriors for the job. Great weapons are probably more used either on the flanks or as super resilient second line troops. Less obvious has to do with the new Shieldwall. I suggest learning to use this formation offensively against the right opponents. If you deny enemies softer opponents and make archer-type units attack the Shieldwall, this both relieves pressure on the rest of your army and pins them in place, perfect for pouring on the artillery fire. If you have allied units that include cavalry, or even gyrocopter units able to hit from the flanks, that can help too. Defensively, you can use that formation to give them even more mass to stop charges cold, and that's going to really cause trouble to enemies, even ogres probably. The Great Weapons variant just gets more able to give you a really strong offensive bite that doubles as an anti-cavalry charge unit. A lot of people do not like this unit, but you can still make great use out of it in the right circumstances. Take care, and have fun grumbling your way to victory! You'll be the last dwarf standing.